Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Scott, and this week we're going to do is talk about the data management workspace, specifically how to export data using the data management workspace. So we'll take a look at that when we get right back. I started recording these sessions on the data management workspace, and really it's too long to fit into one video. There's too much stuff to talk about. So what I'm doing is breaking this up into export and import. So this week we're going to talk about doing an export. All right. So the first example that I'm going to show you is just a simple single entity export. So let's take a look at that one first. So a couple ways of getting into the data management workspace. The first place I can get to it is from the home page here. So if I scroll down, there's the data management tile there. I can also, if I expand this out, go to the workspaces, I can get it to it from here as well, data management, and I've added it as my favorite by clicking here. And so I could also have it on my favorites. What we're going to look at today is the export function. And before I click on the export button here, so this is where all your different projects, you're going to create projects, and they're just data projects. So there's different ways of categorizing them. So I'm going to show you how to categorize them so they show up in different tabs here, right? So let's go ahead and hit the export button. And let's call ours export location export. Locations, and project type is going to be an export project. The category, let's call this one configuration. We'll leave the data package alone right now. So the next thing what we want to do is we want to add which entities we want to export. So for the first example here, we're going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and just add the warehouse locations entity. So what I'm going to do is click the add entity, and it's going to ask me for the entity name. So I'm going to type in warehouse location. And sometimes there's a lot of them, so you kind of have to scroll down and find the one you want. So I'm going to do warehouse locations. And you have to get a format that you want to export to. So I'm going to export to Excel, but as you can see here, there's a lot of different formats that you can use. I'm going to export to Excel. You can either skip staging or not. Now, some files require staging, but it'll actually tell you. I'll leave this as yes to skip staging here in a minute, and you'll see that it'll give an error. It's still going to work. It'll just flip it to require staging. And I'm going to do a full data push, and then on the fields, I'm just going to select the importable fields. I don't want all the fields. I just want the ones that are importable. And then I'll go ahead and click Add. So this is the error I was talking about that you'll get, which if you can't be skipped for import, it'll still work. We're just going to give you that warning there. All right, so to actually run this export, so basically we're just going to export the warehouse locations here. To run this export, what I'm just going to do is click the export button, and then I'm going to hit close here. This is just telling you that you need to hit refresh to view the updated status. So right now this symbol means it's running. If I hit refresh here, it's going to be executing, and when it's done, we'll see it go to a check mark just like that. If there's an issue there, it'll come up with a little caution sign there. And what you can do is you can view the staging data or click on view staging data to see the staging data, or it'll tell you why. You can look in the alerts and see why it might have failed. Okay. So to look at this file, what we can do is we can go ahead and download it. Remember, we did it as Excel. So we download our file. Let's go ahead and open it up. And so here's all of our different locations in our importable fields, right? So if I scroll to the right, these are all fields that can be imported into. Okay. So as you notice, I have a lot of locations in my system, but maybe I only want to export locations that are warehouse 24, right? So these are all of my warehouses here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can go ahead and close this screen here, and this will take us right back to our project here. And if we scroll to the right, there's a filter button here. So if I go ahead and click on filter, I can add pretty much any criteria I want, but in this case, I'm just going to filter out warehouse 24. I could also, if I wanted to export only a certain location profile or location zone, I could do that. And we'll go ahead and say okay there. That'll add a little filter. And when there's a filter on, it'll show us a little pencil. Remember before the symbol was a filter symbol. And we're still going to Excel, so let's go ahead and run that export. It's going to give us that same message there. And that one runs really quick. So that one exported 55 records. So let's go ahead and download that file. And we'll open that one up. And now we have our importable fields for Warehouse 24, right? So these are all our Warehouse 24 locations. Okay, so we've got the single entity export, pretty simple, pretty easy to do. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some extra entities there, and we're gonna do the download in a little bit different way where we've selected the single file for download. We're gonna do a package export. So a little bit different flow on this one, so we'll take a look at that one next. So remember right now we've got our warehouse locations. So now we can go, let's use the add multiple screen this time. So entities, let's just again search for warehouse there, and that'll filter down to warehouse, and we'll scroll down to the bottom. So let's say we want to add, let's add zones, and let's add, we'll add zone groups, and let's add warehouse location, maybe types or profiles. We'll see what we have. We'll do both of them, types and profiles. Okay, so we've selected what we want. We need to make sure we put the format that we want it in. So again, I'm exporting everything to Excel, so I'm going to select that. I'm going to skip staging on these, and again, it's going to warn me if it can't. And then I'm going to hit Add Selected. And then I can continue adding with that add multiple, or since I'm done here, I'm going to go ahead and close. Okay. So we export these the same way. I'm going to show you the download is a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Export. And I'll hit Close here, and we'll go ahead and refresh. And we'll wait for these to run. Okay, and now that's done. Now we could go through here and download each file, but we can also create a package. So a package will be a zip folder with all of these in it, and it's helpful when you're importing them, right? So next week when we look at the import side of this, we'll import a package as well as an individual file. So what we're doing, we'll come up here and click Download Package. It's going to say one doesn't exist. Now on the first page there was a toggle I could have flipped that says Create Package. I didn't create it, but it's no problem. It's going to create it for us now. Go ahead and say yes, and that's going to download. So here's our zip file. I'll show that one in the folder there. And so if I open up this zip file, so it's going to have a manifest, a package header, and then it's going to have all of our different files entity files that we selected there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is using templates. All right, so templates allows you to set up what entities you're actually going to export. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the default Microsoft ones. We use the warehouse management one to kind of demo it. But know that you can create your own templates if you're exporting certain things to move data between systems or between environments. You can create your own templates to do exports, right? So let's take a look at how you can use the default Microsoft templates. The next thing you can do is you can add by template, right? So Microsoft already has some templates set up for us. We're going to use the out-of-the-box ones now. You can create your own. We'll do that in another video. So I've deleted my entities here, and then so let's go and add a template. So if I click on Add a Template and hit the drop down, and nothing's there. So you may run into this if this is the first time you're doing the export. Let's go fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go close out of this screen, and we're going to go back to our Data Manager Workspace. And then let's go to the Templates tab, Templates tile here, and there's a Load Default Templates. So let's go ahead and click Load Default Templates, and I'm going to do Load All. And then after that runs, it's going to load all of our different templates. So these are predefined templates that have been that Microsoft has created for us. So if I want to export the retail entities or the warehouse management entities, these are all here, right? So we can use these templates to actually export. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So I'm going to close this template screen, and I'm going to go back to my project. So the way I get back into my project, I'm just going to make sure it's highlighted, and then I'm going to hit Load Project. That'll take me right back into it. So let's go ahead and try to add that template now. So if we click on Copy from Template, let's scroll down. Let's use the Warehouse Management one. Target data format. Again, I'm just going to use Excel, and I'm going to say OK. Let's see what we get this time. All right, so then there's our template has been loaded, so it's got every one of these files. Now, the good thing about the templates is, like, if you don't want an entity to be exported, you can just highlight those entities there and then click Remove, and it will remove it. Now, that's not affecting the template in any way. That's just for this export or this data project. We're just removing some of the files. So maybe I don't want these two. So I can go through here, and I can basically remove the entities that I don't want. Okay, so as far as the export, it's exactly the same way. I'm not going to run this because it's going to take a while, but I'll do export, and then you'll download the package. All right, so that's exporting using the data management workspace. Like I said, the next video that's going to come out is going to be the import side. There's just too much, like I said, to fit into one video, so we'll just do the export side this week, and then next week we'll do the import side. Okay, so I hope you found some value in this video. Please give it a like or thumbs up if you did. Feel free to leave me a comment if you've got any ideas for processes that you want to see. Really anywhere in Dynamics 365. I do a lot of I concentrate a lot on warehouse management processes, but if there's something you want to see, something newer, just leave a comment and I'll consider it and take a look at it and see if it's something that I can do for you. Okay, so until next time, thanks for watching.